Stop me if you've heard this before, guys, but Anthony Red won yet again on Saturday. 14 and 1 run now over the past 14 days. 14 and 1. Yesterday, another underdog that won outright and another underdog that you got as the half price play of the day. As he delivered with his 69 college basketball winner number 3 in a row with Texas Tech, a 5-point dog winning outright over Oklahoma State. And today, he's got a play so much bigger than that one. Guys, today, 100-dime underdog game of the year part number 3, which also happens to be his 100-dime college basketball winner, number 11 out of 13 overall, and his college basketball winner, no matter the rating, number 18 out of 24. His last 100-dime play, you should recall, it was Wednesday night. Baylor, a 6-point dog, winning outright at Iowa State 79-70. You got that play for half price. Matter of fact, this play today is bigger than his back-to-back 75-dime dog winners on Thursday and Friday, which you also got for half price. Thursday night, Houston plus the 16 points, covering easily at Temple. Friday night, the LA Clippers in the NBA outright underdog winner against the Memphis Grizzlies. Guys, $10 bettors have now won over 18 grand following Anthony in basketball, college and pro combined over the past 3 years. Hell, over the past 6 weeks, those $10 bettors have won $10,365 for the 7th straight day. You're going to get his major wager release at a huge discount. You get it for half price today simply by using coupon code RED, his last name REDD. You shouldn't be surprised because, again, as I've always told you, I'm a firm believer that you do not need to spend big money in order to make big money in this gambling thing we do. And I'm proving my point once more by giving you the hottest handicapper's place at the hugest discount. The hugest? Did I just say the hugest discounts? Oh my God. God, I almost feel like starting the video game at the biggest discounts possible. And again, I'm proving it with Anthony Red once more again today. Listen, guys, if Anthony Red could happen to be one of those guys that you hear 800 charlatans, con men always pitching. If one of their sports services could go on a 14 and 1 run, do you realize what they'd be raping you with in terms of trying to overcharge you for these plays today? And you get it today instead for half price. So check it out. Also, Chris Jordan today, coming off a big 500-star underdog winner yesterday. St. John's outright over Georgetown in revenge. Today, upping the ante. Top-rated 1,000-star college basketball winner, number 3 out of 4. His college conference dog of the year, twice as strong as St. John's yesterday. Matches last Monday's 1,000-star winner on West Virginia over Texas, which you got for $29, just like today, because you're going to save $70. You get the play for $29 using coupon code CJ29, CJ29. And finally, the 777 triple play today is Trace Adams. His Raise the Bar 1,500-star totals winner, number 4 in a row over the past week. His interconference total of the year, part number 2 in the NBA. It's your Golden State Boston over-under. Hit with a 1,500-star play on Friday with Minnesota Chicago under. You got that for $777. Hit his ACC total of the year with Wake Forest and Virginia under on Wednesday, $777. And this roll started last Tuesday with Providence and Villanova over his Big East total of the year, which you got for $5. Again, $7.77 by using coupon code TRACE777. As for yours truly, my free picks yesterday sucked. They went 1 and 3. But you know what? Sorry, guys. Because you know I win a hell of a lot of the free plays, and I really try to win the free plays. But I say sorry because the only thing that really matters is I won my best bet again yesterday, and that's the game you and I bet on. Hopefully you and I both bet on it. Yesterday, cashing in with top-rated 15-dime college winner, number 15 out of 20, and I just want to say to you once more how much I love Davidson. I love Davidson. So when you got the play yesterday on Davidson, you shouldn't have been surprised because I used Davidson as a 15-dime play each of the past 2 Saturdays. I've used Davidson as a 15-dime best bet 7 times this season. I love Davidson. Truthful story before I get to your free pick here today. So one of the things I've enjoyed over the last 15 years or so, I've had the opportunity because, my job basically goes with me. Have computer, will travel. You see me working in hotel rooms morning, noon, and night, shooting video reports. So that's one of the luxuries. The downside, I have to work 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That sucks. It gets old after a while. But the upside is I can take the job with me. So as I've driven all over the place, all over the country, one of my joys is I like to stop and see other college campuses. Listen, I went to Temple University. I'm lucky I didn't get shot there back in the day. Okay, I mean, it was just a lousy campus. I'm sure it's much better now, but hey, it wasn't when I went there. So, Temple fans, tough luck. But bottom line is this: I like seeing other college campuses. So, during the summer, it was back in July, there was a stretch of 3.5 weeks where I drove like 6,000 miles and I visited 19 states. We're on our home stretch. We're coming through North Carolina. And I told my wife, Davidson is right nearby. I've never seen Davidson. I had seen Elon last summer. I had driven through the previous summer. I had seen Elon University. I thought, I got to see Davidson. So I'm going through, and I'm seeing Davidson and I'm seeing the university. Little did I know that that would be a precursor to winning some big time bucks on the Wildcats this season. But anyway, Davidson won again for me personally yesterday as they stopped George Washington. There is Davidson, by the way, a team that has dominated the Southern Conference all these years. They bring them into the Atlantic 10, their inaugural season, and they are right there vying for first place in the league. Not VCU after VCU got knocked off yesterday by Dayton. So really, what a story for them. My other game yesterday was kind of interesting. I had a 5-dime play, a bonus play on UAB. What a game if you happen to catch any part of that. UAB, of course, was up 15 points in the second half. They blew that all. It goes into overtime. It goes into double overtime. It goes into triple overtime. UAB, I think the final score was like 100-95. Now, I had them at 4.5, and I think a lot of you had them at 4.5 as well. But at some books, that line moved to 5 rather early. So listen, I'm just counting it as a push. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, the hell, I'm on a 26-13-2 run. Do you really think I care here whether or not I hurry up and try to maneuver my way into getting a 5-dime winner with a game that I think could have pushed for a few people? So I don't give a damn. For record-keeping purposes, I'm taking it as a push. But what an interesting game yesterday. How about some of the games on the West Coast last night? Guys, Boise State is on a red-hot roll. They hammered San Diego State last night, the Aztecs, not even close in that game. But I think, of course, the biggest upset, of course, last night, Gonzaga. You are sitting there with a number 1 seed in your lap for the big dance, and you lose outright at home 73-70 against BYU. I remember when those two played in Provo earlier this season, and BYU fell behind by double digits early, and then they came back. And it was a nip and tuck game until the very end, where a couple of clutch shots and some free throws allowed Gonzaga to score the point spread win on the road. But oh my gosh, what a total collapse by Gonzaga. How about the Arizona-Utah game late last night, guys? Arizona, listen, I told you yesterday in the free pick, I thought Utah perhaps would ultimately get revenge, a team that had been dominant at home all season, a team that had won 18 straight games in a row at the Huntsman Center since losing to Arizona in overtime a year ago in February. And don't they lose again yesterday as a 2-point favorite in the rematch, 63-57, more or less giving Arizona the Pac-12 title? How about St. Mary's? That epic collapse against Gonzaga a couple of weeks back, and then they lose yesterday at Santa Clara, a 7-point road favorite. They lose that game 71-70. So those were a couple of the interesting games. Oh, Tulsa and Memphis. Tulsa wins in overtime, 74-72. If Memphis doesn't make a coaching change after this season, I'm telling you, I'm going to be surprised. How about UTEP? UTEP loses, and I know I had Louisiana Tech on Thursday night. UTEP had come into that Louisiana Tech game 1 game behind the Bulldogs for first place in the Conference USA. And they were a 5.5-point dog, and they got hammered. They lost by 17 points. So today they go to Southern Mississippi, a team that had lost 16 of its previous 19 games, and Southern Mississippi beats them 63-60 as an 11-point home underdog. So those are a couple of the interesting games that I saw yesterday. One of the games I wish I had used as a free pick would have been Maryland. It seems like the Terrapins are suddenly getting their mojo back, so strong early in the season, hit a little bit of a tailspin, but yesterday getting another win and cover. And how about Virginia Commonwealth? Losing outright as a 7-point dog last night or yesterday afternoon to Dayton. Okay, we move on to the free pick today, and I'll tell you what, guys, the only game that I really like in college basketball today, or anywhere other than my own personal best bet, which happens to be in the NBA, I'm going to give it a shot with the California Golden Bears The streaky California Golden Bears at home against Oregon State. The Bears, a 3-point favorite in Berkeley. I mean, this is a team that has now lost 3 in a row, losing at Utah, losing at Stanford, losing at home to Oregon after winning 5 in a row. And of course, that winning streak preceded a 6-game losing streak. So lose 6, win 5, lose 3. Consistency. You got to love it at Cal. Aren't these guys math majors anyway? It's their home finale. The Beavers have lost 4 of their last 5. They're coming off a 75-48 loss at Stanford, a game in which it was a 2-point game at halftime, and they got hammered in the second half because they only hit 21% of their shots. I mean, they were up 28-19 early in that contest. Oregon State's problem is this. They can't play outside of Corvallis. At home, 15-1. On the road, I mean, they're 1-7 on the Pac-12 road. So I just gave you the final score against Stanford, right? 75-48. They've also lost by 13 points at USC. USC, the worst team in the Pac-12, okay? They lost by 16 at UCLA, 23 at Arizona, 18 at Arizona State, 13 at Washington, 12 at Oregon. Do you notice a trend here? They're all double-digit road losses. So how the hell would I even think about taking Oregon State in this particular game after the way they lost against Stanford? Listen, you've got a California team that doesn't have a lot of quality, doesn't really have any inside game, relies on some streaky outside shooters, but you also have an Oregon State team that has not played well, as I said, on the road. You have an Oregon State team that is rather short-handed ever since their second leading scorer at the time, Victor Robbins, was suspended. He's missed 13 straight games now, and probably the rest of the season while in the midst of a 10-game indefinite suspension. He got picked up for DUI like a week ago. They got Gary Payton II, but the fact is they needed 2 walk-ons to play a combined 23 minutes in the Stanford game because of foul trouble they encountered. It's going to be a low-scoring game because that's the MO for Oregon State, but I do like Cal here. I'm kind of surprised California isn't like a 5-point favorite in this game. At 3 points, I thought they were pretty much a bargain. So California is going to be your free play. Best of luck to you guys, and I'll catch you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.